Oh boy, it's so cloudy today. Oh, look at that. All that rain coming down. Love it. You love to see it. Oh man. Well, hello everyone. We're bouncing back. So we are bringing up package resolve for the Playdate again. And we are just continuing to crank out the game here. There we go, command key. That's what I'm looking for. Last time we were working on collisions. Spoilers. I figured it out. But I obviously did a lot more than that. More than I had anticipated for this weekend and last night. So we're just gonna be filling in some gaps today. Hopefully seeing if we can take this another step and keep running with the rest of the tree here. Whew. Yeah. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. That rain is coming down pretty hard. Holy smokes. You can't see it because this is completely washed out, but the rain right now is just insane. So let's see here. Yeah, I hope everybody's week has been doing well. I know we didn't stream last week. I had some stuff that I was doing that particular weekend. Still managed to get some game development in anyway, though. I would say nothing too major, but I would kind of consider this pretty major, actually, considering that I kind of went through and refactored the code base a lot. So a lot of things have changed about the code base. I won't walk through every single change, but just to kind of briefly show what's going on here. Yeah, I tried to clean up some areas, move some things out to make it easier to read, fixed a memory issue that was cropping up. Turns out it had to do with more meh format strings. Very costly. Yeah, just kind of generally moving some things out, getting documentation to be consistent, trying to get implementations to be a bit more consistent as well, moving certain pieces of data into more accessible structures, such as the screen here, which contains the width and the height and the insets, rather than those two being separate and then having to pass those in separately. Those are now just kind of bundled together in one little package. Same thing for the player, too. The player now contains quite a lot of options in here. I actually do not remember what we contain in here. Yeah, so the sprite itself, the image, position, size, and then the collision rectangle. A lot of stuff, but yeah, I have been kind of going through here and trying to simplify the code base a bit more, try to move things out into other methods, so things are a lot cleaner now than a couple weeks ago, which is good. Game changes wise, if I were to build and run this, there we go. You kind of saw it there. The boxes, or not the boxes, the pallets just kind of... Oh. We somehow managed to reach a game over state even without touching it. Yeah, you could see that the pallets currently now move up, but also, they also do not... What am I trying to say? Yeah, we also now have the collisions enabled. Right now, it's just any time that these two collision rectangles overlap, which is good in some cases, but I'm noticing that we may need to make the hitboxes a little bit smaller. Just because, like, kind of hitting it on the edge, even though you're not really next to it, player-wise, is just a little funny. So we may need to adjust the collision boxes for both. Those are the sorts of things that I want to take care of this stream. So that way, next stream we can focus on some of the other bigger bits, such as the state management and whatnot, and probably getting proper game over screens rather than just the game halting. But so far, this is what we got. Yeah, again, a lot of changes. I'm not going to go over every single little change in here. If you want to see the summary of those changes, you are more than welcome to take a look at the latest commits since the last time that we met, which was February 17th. You can see all of that information right in here. Fairly straightforward. But again, that's not what we're here to do. We're here to just kind of clean up some stuff, get our collisions to work a little bit better, as well as kind of doing better stuff with the palettes. Because one of the things that I'm noticing right now is the formatter takes forever, my goodness. Right, is that sometimes when we restart, we'll automatically enter a stop state for some reason. I'm guessing because of the way that the placement is that there will be some times where the player is immediately bumping into a pallet right when the generation starts. And this was something that also came up in the original game as well, which I did little to fix. So we are going to probably change the pallet call here to only execute after the first pass of boxes, so that way the player has enough time to kind of interact with things. So let's go ahead and take care of that right now. So that's taken care of in our setup method, or setup function that we have here. Right, so we have fill pallets here. So for now, I'm just going to comment that out. Yeah, okay. So we'll need to move that somewhere else. We'll probably need to make another flag for this, actually, which probably makes more sense. Period active. Well, in this case, we'll set it to true. So then what we can do is we go into here because we want to go for the last box for this. If I is boxes count -1, so this is the last one that we're working with. Actually, hold on. And then if that grace period is not active, we'll continue as well. Because then we don't need to actually run the fill pallets. Pallets, pallet count, screen. What do we pass in for the image? Back up here, just pallet image. PD. And then that should be enough for that. Now this is for the last one. The issue is, I don't know whether we've determined that this box has been redone. Though I suppose we could use the same check here for this. No. Because we need to know whether the last box has been shifted off. Right? Yeah. We may need to change the type of this. Okay, yeah, that is in Charlotte, which means we're going to need to write some tests for it. Not that I want to avoid the test, but, you know. Palette grace period active. Continue. So fill palettes. I'm trying to think. What would be the one case in which we can... Okay, I got an idea. If boxes I.y is less than 0, because we'll do it once it goes off the screen. So we'll set it to that, I think. Well, actually, we want to do the top like that, I think. No. No, that doesn't make sense. We'll keep it at 0. Okay, we'll see whether this works, and then... This is going to be very weird, but we'll see whether this works. Non-null value required for argument s. I don't know what argument s is. So somehow in some form or fashion, oh, you know what? Because we're executing the palette logic as well inside of here. I forgot about that. Where's my simulator? Okay, so we have no palettes on the screen yet, and now we do. Okay. I'm just going to run this a couple times just to, well, no, there's no point in doing that. Yeah, okay. So that little bit of a grace period is helping in that regard, which is good. Except we're not being very clever about the positioning. So I think we need to update the fill palettes to check for that. Where is fill palettes? Jump to the definition. Okay, fine. Oh, you know what? We have screen imported for this, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna get rid of this logic, because what we can do is and then vec2f is we're going to fence inside. This was a method I wrote last night, which basically does that same thing of screen.h was already open. So what this does, it just kind of makes sure that we're inside the safe area. So it moves the point accordingly. That was something that I wrote last night. Should help cut down a lot of the boilerplate. I'll also get rid of the screen edge insets thing here, because I don't think that's no longer needed. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more readable, because the fencing inside will take care of all that. So we'll definitely need to make sure that it's more than the height, so we'll need to make sure that this is offset, right? So I think what we'll say here is if the Y position is less than or equal to 64, because that's the height, we're just going to add to it, otherwise we'll keep it the same. And that should prevent the issue where there's not enough reaction time. Or at least that's the idea. So let's kind of go back, run the game, if it decides to run. Okay, we're in our grace period. Yeah, exactly. See, now we still have to adjust the hitboxes on this, but that is actually a lot more playable than before, whereas it would just kind of randomly spawn. Oh, okay, yeah, see, I wasn't very careful there, and I already looped to the other side. That's something we're going to need to fix as well, because I forgot that's something you could do. So we'll need to adjust the cranks code for that to handle that as well. Yeah, okay, so far we are doing pretty good for that. One thing we can also do is adjust the insets for the pallets themselves so they have to stay within the middle lane. Though I don't think that makes for very interesting gameplay. So we'll see. So I guess the next thing is we'll definitely need to revisit this logic here. Because we do need to make sure that they're regenerated accordingly. Though let's go and change this around. So let's see what happens when we make that palette size x minus 8. I want to see how the palette sizes look when we do that here. Yeah, okay. Okay, so far so good. So then I think we just need to adjust that to 16. So it's better centered. Right, because I don't want to be cruel in it being like you touch the very edge and you're screwed. Oh, I adjusted the wrong property. This should be 8. I lied. It should not be 8. I think this is supposed to be 4. I just smacked right into a pallet even before. Yeah, that logic is not actually working. If the Y position is less than or equal to 64, let's do 72 then. Yeah, there we go. The player's rectangle's also a little bit off too, so we'll have to adjust that as well. Yeah. Yeah, that hitbox looks a little bit more respectable. Okay. So that's good. So let's go adjust the player's collider, which I think we manage in player C. Yes. So size.x, we'll offset that by 16. Increase the x by 8. Yeah, that's a bit better. Because that gives you more of a grace period so you can actually kind of dodge these things more effectively. Cool. Though I still don't like that we're doing that. 128 seems to be a bit more appropriate. Okay. So I think what we'll do, I'm gonna change that logic slightly. Because do we have the max? Oh, do I need to import math? I have math. Squeeze me? Okay, there is no max function. I am fine with that. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Okay. Yeah, so that looks good. I smack right into the side, because I'm a dum-dum. Okay, cool. So I guess let's commit that to palette and player colliders. So that at least makes it a little bit more palatable. But now we're going to need to handle the shifting, which I will probably want to pull the implementation from the boxes one. So let's move that down. And I believe for this one what we did was we also included we included a threshold value, which I will need to also update the header file for you. I also didn't document this. Why did I do that? Okay, whatever. You are screaming because conflicting types for shift palette. Okay, I'm not sure why you're freaking out about that. If transformed y is less than the threshold, we'll then have to rerun the logic that we did for u. We also need to pass in the screen data. Fun. So let's do that as well. Okay, let me close and reopen palette here. Does that get rid of the error? That gets rid of the error. Okay, now we're being smart. Why don't I just pull this out into its own method? I think that makes a bit more sense. Alright, because we just need the screen data for you? Yep, screen data. I'm doing that so that way I can put you down here. Screen data, screen. I'm just going to take that code here, like that. And so then we do transformed is create palette position screen, which means we can also take u out and just say vec2f position is create the palette position with the screen. Nice. Okay, that cleans up the code a little bit. And I think that's all we need to do. Uh-oh. Oh. Duh. Make sure you update your implementation. Update the call site. Okay. Here we go. looking good so far. Just avoid these pallets here. Yeah, the pallets are getting regenerated. It does take some time for it to do so, but not too bad. Okay. I can work with this. This is very good. Okay. Very, very good. We have managed to get things working. Oh, it got a little bit lighter. Excellent. Okay. So that helps a lot. So let's get that commit, we'll need to take care of the palette thing. Yeah, let's make sure that we have the documentation covered. Real quick, before I forget, wow, that's not what that meant at all. The palette towards the top of the screen, resetting its position after a threshold point. That is not 90 columns. There we go. This is probably going to take me a minute to actually write this out, so we'll take a moment to do a quick break. So let's do that. Okay there. We should be all set now. We have the documentation written. This is a really long line. Let's make sure the files are formatted before we do anything. Da-da-da. I guess that's acceptable? Oh, you know what? I know what it is. I need to update the... I forgot in the classic fashion here. Yeah. I forgot to include the include directory in that. explains a lot. So if I were to... No, I don't want to see the git changes. Excellent. Cool. Great. So finish up palette shifting. Wow, so that's pretty good so far. So let's go back to the tree. The tree, the tree, the tree. Well, we managed to get this done. So. Oh, no. Greer. Thank you. Nice. Okay, so obstacles are pretty much done. Which is good. I'm not going to add the other obstacles for the original game at this time. We'll probably revisit them later. But we're now in a good state where we have those in place. Rolling background for now, I'm just going to punt. Not because we're blocked or anything, but... Or no, blocked is a different color entirely. I just do not have the artwork ready. I still need to get that done. Last night I was focusing more on the actual code than the artwork for it. So then I guess we can do stuff with state management. Though that will... Well, we can do some state management related things, just not what's documented on the tree right now. Like, for instance, actually determining why the game is over. I think that will probably be a good one first. So let's add that in. Do something really simple. And while we're at it... No, not a new Nova window. Fonts.h, because I just want to remember how we do this. Yeah, just the same way we do a regular thing. Okay, cool. Type def, enum. Type def, enum game over state. Game over state, like this. Right, so what are the reasons that the game could be over? The timer stopped, so that's out of time. Or we run into a pallet, so I'll just call that a death. Well, it's not really a death so much as it is an injury. So, an injury. Or we ran into some weird crash. Cool. Or we succeeded. But I'll also put a none, just so that way... No, we could just have it be a null value, I think. Yeah, so we could do that. So we'll just do a game over state. Game over like this. So if we go here, game over state. Game over is a crash. Keep going through here. So if overlapping counts is less than... Yes, this one we would say. Game over is the injury. Right? And then I think we just need to change the logic to... Yeah, if time remaining is less than or equal to 0, here, we'll do a game over is out of time. So then, in here, we can skip through all that. Actually, let's move this statement to be under here, because we're going to change something else here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a if game over is not equal to none. Oh, can we not do that? Undeclared use of is not equal to null. Comparison between pointer and integer. Well, I guess we could just say that, right? Game over is greater than or equal to 0, just return 0. Now, we're going to check to see whether this actually does anything. Yeah, we crash. Yeah, okay, so by default it's assigning out of time to it. Okay, fine. So we'll put a none here. Game over is none. Right, so in this case, we want to come back to say if game over is not equal to none. Then we return 0. Yep, okay. So let's just play the game and verify that things work. I'm gonna smack. Yep, we reach a game over. Yeah, okay. Let's get good and not die. How about that? Man, randomization is just a little bit cruel. Sometimes you get really good spots for where these obstacles will spawn, other times, not so much. Okay, so we got about 20 seconds remaining. Which is good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Okay. So the game's working normally. Excellent, we've verified this. So what we're going to do then is, for now, this is just a note implementation. Here is just temporary until we get proper screenage. Right, so we're going to do switch game over case. So we'll handle the crash case first. PD system error a crash occurred. Break case injury PD system log2 console got injured by a pallet. After break. Oh, because this isn't Swift. Case out of time. PD system log2 console. You ran out of time. Break. Default break, just to be sure. So now, in the Playdate's console, we should actually see the reason as to why we reach a game over. So I'll make sure to pull that up. Make sure we'll do something stupid. You got injured by a pallet. 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 Nothing like every frame being reminded that you died. Hey, did you get injured by a pallet? I think you did. That's so dumb. Okay, so we'll restart. We'll see what happens when we run out of time. I do feel that this version of the game, with the way that we have things set up, is a lot more graceful. I do want to implement some sort of grace period in the beginning where you get like a timer of like 3, 2, 1, go, just to make it a bit more fair, but the improvements compared to the original game right now are pretty significant. I will say that. Because before, the game was pretty frickin' unfair. Also, just the weird idea that they're... Oh. I died. Apparently, it's so hard to test the out-of-time thing because I keep dying. Good job, me. Doing real well. Meanwhile, let's pull up the thing here just to see that we're not overstaying our welcome in terms of the memory here, which I know is running a little bit slow, but I think it's because I have this only show active thing on. Refresh. Okay. Okay, no, it's just going to be a little bit slow because it's sampling the memory. That's fine. This wouldn't happen on a real playdate anyway. Nah, man. Should probably add a debug menu or something at some point. Actually, I have an idea. Just lower the time. Lower the time and all your problems will be solved. Or maybe not? Why is that? Is 60 being referenced somewhere else in here? Ah. That'd be why. Because I forgot we hard-coded that value inside. Okay, there we go. Do 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 do. Okay. You ran out of time. Wow. Okay, cool. So that's a good sign. So we will add that in as well. Yeah, I'll worry about documentation after. But yeah, okay. So this works. There's one other quick thing I want to do. So I'm going to add this up here as well. Static void reset game. Void user data. Reset game debug. Because I know what we can do for this. Let me quickly go to the docs. Because it's in here, interacting with the system menu. Menu item callback. Now, how do we work that? Add options menu item, remove all menu items. So what is a PD? Okay, so here's what we'll do. So we'll set that up as well, real quick. Static int reset game debug. Whoops. Void user data. Playdate API. PD is user data. No, not user address T. I don't know where you got that. Conflicting types. Oh, because this is static void. So what we're going to do is say time remaining is 60, game over is none, initialized game loop is false, I think. Yeah. Return 0. So we do need to make this an int after all. So we need to make a callback for you, right? So let's set that up. Then, what is it that we need? A PD menu item callback function reset callback is something. Scalar initializer cannot be empty. Yeah, I know that. I want to see the type of this. Dingus? Oh. Really? Ah. So you're telling me I could just do this. Menu item. Reset, followed by reset game debug. What is that last item supposed to be? Void star user data. Oh. Oh. Okay. Let's see if this does the thing that I want. Do we get a working menu item? Well, first off, I can't even see the screen. Oh. Oh, snap. Okay, it does some things that it should not do. Time remaining is 60. Game over is none. So don't initialize the game loop then. So I guess what we want to do... Oh, we also want to turn on the palette grace period as well. Player dot current player position is this expected expression. This is the expression. What are you talking about? Oh no. Okay, fine. Fill boxes. Boxes, count, screen. Yeah, okay. We'll see. We may have to also make sure that the messaging is updated too, but... Yeah, so the palettes are now having a moment too. So we need to fix that as well. But wait a minute, the time didn't actually reset here, as I have noticed. Reset. Oh. Oh, that's peculiar. Okay. That's something I'll have to figure out later. But at least we have a menu item temporarily to allow the debugging to occur. I think one last thing I will do. If debug? No, okay. Never mind. Whatever, not the point. We have a sort of debug menu item. I just need to figure out how to actually get it to set it up correctly. But in that case, we will probably pick up next week where we decide to either get a rolling background in or start doing some UI work to display some game over messages. I'm looking over here like as if... Yeah, there's not much in chat. Anyway. Thank you all for tuning in. If you liked the stream, be sure to like it down wherever the like button is. I don't know where it is right now. And see you next time.